line. They came and picked me up, put me on the side and said, you will be okay. And I was breathing like I had the only last opportunity to breathe. And I think that's the last time I participated in running competitions. I said, this is not my portion. And other kids, we had other kids who would run and would sing for them, cheer them up. Luwaga, Luwaga, hey, hey. And the guy would take off and they made our school win. And for some of them, they got bonuses at school. So they realized, maybe you need to write these things. God has given us resources. And according to me, maybe there are many. But according to me, we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources. And resource number 1, which is given to everybody, and God is fair. We said it is time. All of us have. You can use your time and exchange it for money. You can use your time and exchange it for money. Number 2, energy. How many of you don't have energy at all? Ngagwe, you wake up and you're like, I need somebody to help lift my head. At that rate, I think you are considered either invalid or sick. So there is a challenge. So we have time, we have money. I already said it. Okay. Energy, time, money. Number 3 is money. And number 4, resource. And remember, money would be the last one anyway. So money, you consider it number, you put number 5 on money. Number 1 is time. Number 2 is energy. Number 3 is talents and gifts or abilities. You can call it different kinds of abilities. Different kinds of, it is talents, gifts, abilities. Let's do something crazy this morning. I don't know if it is going to be online or something, but let's try to do something like this. Some people can. You look around. There are some people who, Paul cannot roll her tongue. Can you imagine? You can't. Look, she can roll her tongue. This one can't. This one is even trying to use her fingers to. This one can roll. Yeah, this one I think can. Elia Valavatagala to participate in our game. Yeah, I think. Oswald, I think, is a tongue roller. It looks like he rolls his tongue. You know, simple, something like that, very simple. You look at it and you're like, how come other people can do it and I cannot do it? It's because that's not how you are made. Something very simple. So their talent, their abilities, different kinds of abilities from which you can win a trophy, you can win a bursary, a competition. The other time I discovered that I can shake only one of my fingers. Can you try to do that? When I shake my palm like this, do you see like it is almost like one of my fingers is the only one that is shaking? Can you try it? They are all out here like this. But only one is really. Paul is trying very hard. Try both hands. If it doesn't work on this one, try on the other one and see whether. So God has given us different. And then, of course, He has given us the biggest variety, which is the natural resources. Natural resources include those up the ground, under the ground, over the ground. Those are all natural resources. The other day I was talking to someone who was saying the they have somebody they know who goes to cut good rocks from which they get glasses, very important glasses, but they get it from rocks, and they go and cut, and they know what they do with the rocks, and then they get very good glass, specific rocks. You can get glass from sand, from rocks, from different things. You can get bricks from sand. Abilities of doing things with the natural that God has given us. So God has given us all the natural things for making us financially stable. So, given that, when you wake up in life, what do you bring to the market? The reason you go to school maybe is to, again, polish your understanding to see how you can utilize these 5 resources that God has given us. And of the 5, where is your major source of income? Is it abilities? Is it time? Now, abilities goes to time. Abilities may go to energy. Money. People use money to get money. So we said when you're a student, you are majorly working because you haven't gotten, you are using your, of course, time, energy, but you are trying to also use your other abilities. There are other people who use time, energy. So most of the businesses, you are using time, energy. But how efficient are you using those resources? It's a combination of a number of those for you to get money. And then there are others which are instructed. In the Bible, we said if you're a housewife, what's your business? What are you selling? Primarily to your household, number 1, before you sell it to anyone else. As a housewife, what do you sell? Omukyalo mufumbo atunda ki? Mu business bwakeera ku makya bw'ati. Atunda ki mu katale? Atunda respect and obedience. Mwe abawala abato abaagala okufumbirwa, kiwandiike ogende nti bwe nnyingira mu bufumbo, bizinesi yange gye nkola okufuna okuganja, okufuna ne ssente, my husband to even kwameza. Omusajja bw'omuyimbyako n'obeera gwe ogenda nothing. Ky'oguza omusajja is respect and obedience. That's how your marriage is going to thrive. That's how everything is going to be. Woo! And if you're a man, those of you who are men, Rashid, you want to get married. You are saying, oh yes, what do you bring to the business? Mukatalo leta chi. You bring wanje affection. And okay, affection would be part of safety, but we also talked of provision. So you bring safety and provision, and those are the combinations that bring affection. If safety can include affection as a man. When you're an employee, you bring your skills plus wanje, respect, obedience. If you're an employee, they will give you a set of rules and say, And if you are going to succeed in Uganda, obedience. I prayed so much, Lord, I have my vehicle, I bought it with my money, I even prayed, for me I want to drive on the right. You are going to die before you get to where you are going. Yeah, you have to obey. That is what you are going to do. Obey, and things will work for you. Now, there is something that I'm thinking. It's something I'm still processing in my mind. for you to be able to do these businesses, eriyo gye bayita control. Eriyo bagiyita ani? Control. What is control? What is to control something? Somebody help me. Or your controller. What is control? What is to control? Have authority over something. Take charge. You guide the thing to do what you want. It must do what you want. These are good contributions. Now, Angie, responsibility. Control is like you check it, you validate, you make sure it is functioning. Now, in the book of Luke chapter 2, I'm taking a risk here. It is a scripture that I'm going to read, and some of you might say, I am really taking it out of control, but I am talking about control. Out of it. Luke chapter 2, verse 49. Are you there? Luke chapter 2, verse 49. And he said to them, how is it that you had to look for me? Did you not see and know that it is necessary as a duty for me to be in my Father's house and occupied about my Father's business? Jesus' parents were looking for him. How old was he? 12. And what was he doing? Verse 46. What was Jesus doing? Somebody read verse 46. Listening and asking the leaders, the teachers of the law. Now, this is at the temple. Jesus has gone to the temple and he is listening and asking questions to the teachers of the law. And then when his parents find him, he tells them, the reason I am here is because I am concerned about my Father's business. And if it is a business to God, it means it's something that brings profit to God, something that brings something back to God. And so Jesus is saying, I am concerned about my Father's business. And so the reason I am here is to listen and ask questions. Now, when you are listening and asking questions about a business, what kind of questions are you looking for? Or are you asking? And what are you listening for? I think these are accountability questions. Now, for a business, what layers do we have in a business? Is it 4 layers of business? Any? I don't know. It may not be every business. But if you are producing, what do you have? Number 1. Okay, let's say you have a chapati business. What is number 1? Ingredients. What do we call what's another name for ingredients? Recipe. Eh? The recipe does not only tell you the ingredients, but it also tells you the amounts. If it is sugar, how many spoons. If it is flour, how many kilograms. So the recipe, ingredients, is number one, because that is going to give you the budget for how much you need to buy. Now, so you have the ingredients. Number two, what do you have for business? Listing the ingredients does not mean that you have them. So number two is, number one is recipe. Number two is, tusoma business. Wanji? You might go to school and say, in our church we were approaching it very differently, but here at school the teachers are teaching. Those of you doing economics, you are going to find that I'm making these things simpler. Everyday man's language. So you have recipe and you have supply. Those things must come to you. Supply means you are looking at things coming to you. Number three, packaging. No, you have now the recipe, you have the supply. This one is the production, which is also process. Yeah. Plan? No. Here you have the process of production. If they have come, you have the recipe, you have the supplies. Next is the process of production. After the process of production, what do you get? The product itself. After the process, you get the product. Now, after the product, what is next? Market. Give yourselves a hand clap. So now we have the layers of production business. Number one is recipe. You are not even writing. Recipe. You need to know what you are going to produce and what it takes. Number two is supplies. Number three is process of production. Number four is the product itself. And number five is market. So before you come to the market here, you need to know what you are bringing to the market. But before you know what you are going to take to the market, you actually need to know the market. Because the market is equal to the need you are meeting. Is there a need in the community? So Jesus comes to the temple and he's about his father's business. And if he's listening and asking questions, what is he trying to do? In my mind, I'm thinking that Jesus is now trying to see how productive his father's business is, and the one word that gives you authority over business is control. Control over these five. Whoever has control over the five, for example, whoever has control over the recipe determines the supplies, production, and market, and product itself. Hello? So now, we are looking at control. Now, in your product, you write a lot of notes. As I'm talking, you write a lot of notes. Just imagine, me, I'm a student. They told me my product is performance. What levels of control do I have over my product. Because the quality, it depends on the recipe, it depends on the supplies, it depends on the process. So you are not just going to get a good product here. Noga, nze nafulumiza emigati, giwooma nnyo naye nga you don't know. The other day, let me tell you, there is a gentleman, he has a bakery at Nile. That's where we buy our bread from. We went and bought, we've been buying bread there. And then at some point we went and bought bread and it was tasting different. I went back. I said, excuse me, we have been buying bread here. And the reason we were buying bread here is because of the taste. You have switched the taste. Are you now changing to this taste, or there is something that, and the lady was honest. She said, you are the third person to come back and tell us. We went and we bought wheat from another supplies, who is not the one who has been supplying us. Our normal supplier had run out of supply, so we bought from another supplier. And their wheat is the one that has brought this taste. But thank you for letting us know. We are going to go back and buy from our original supplier. And for sure, after that batch went out, the next batch we bought was tasting like the original. Now, if you are going to be in business and you don't know what kind of products, what kind of supplies you need, you are going to struggle with your market. So if you are producing good performance because of physical ability, then you watch what you eat. You watch what you eat. If you are working for a modeling company, skincare company, let me tell you, at some point you might even say, I don't bathe every kind of water. Or if I am going to bathe for my skin, I have to add this and this so that my skin remains smooth and nice, so that every time I am before a camera and the people are watching the skin, it is. So you watch what you put on your skin. You don't just buy everything. You don't just buy everything. Now for me, what ingredient is that? I forget. Is it? I forget it. They told me there is good jelly for the skin. Now, I tried it and it was working good on the skin, but it affects my eyes. Me, when I put it on, my eyes just begin tearing like this all the time, and I can't look. So I said, okay, it is good, but I can't afford it because my eyes cannot manage it. Some of us, you put something on your skin and it burns. And for others, it's okay. So what are we saying? We are saying Jesus was in the business of controlling. Now, controlling is not like dominating, but it is ascertaining that things are working the right way. If you are going to succeed in business, you must learn to be in charge of control and to know what to control and how to control it. Now, for example, how do you control recipe? You just test the right measurements and you document and you write it. Now, here in this church, what is our business? Who knows what our business is? Yes. Preaching. Someone says our business is preaching. We normally say it every Sunday morning. We say it here. What is our business? Why are we here? Wanji? Souls. Someone is saying we are here for souls. Why did you come this morning? You came to business. Someone says we want the word of God. For what? Now that is an ingredient. But what are we doing? What are we selling? What is this church supposed to produce? You say it every Sunday. Making God-fearing disciples, transforming. That's the product. What is our product? God-fearing disciples. What do they do? Yeah? Yeah, transform. Like everyone is out there saying, I am fighting hunger. For example, people with restaurants, what are they trying to do? They are fighting hunger. And how do they fight it? Everyone has a different strategy of fighting. Some people wake up in the morning and say, I am fighting hunger in Bukaya. And you ask them, how do you do it? This one says, I produce chapatis. Another one says, me, I do donuts. Another one says, me, I do katogo. Another one, for me, I do chai. Another one says, me, it is only sweets. So everyone is out there fighting the same thing, but with a different product. At the end of the day, all of them are saying we are winning if people in Bukaya are not sleeping hungry, but they are not producing the same product. So for us here as a church, we are saying our product is God-fearing disciples. Now, who is a disciple? Anyone who comes to church. Is that what you're saying? What are you saying? The follower of Christ. Who is a disciple? According to our definition. Son of God. Who is a disciple? It's a long definition, by the way. According to our church here, if you are here and you are saying, okay, let me not even ask you that how many of you who are here are disciples. Let me give you the definition, and then you can tell us whether you are a disciple or not. So what are we producing? Someone has already raised their hands. They are like, me, I don't care your definition. I already consider myself a disciple. Okay. A disciple, we can start with the brief definition that one of you gave us here, is someone following Christ. Or let's say it this way. A disciple is a learner. Is a learner who is teaching other learners. A disciple is a learner who is teaching another learner. Okay, you could have many. Let's even make it very simple. A disciple is a learner who is teaching another learner. So what are we producing? What is our product this morning? Our product is to make you a learner. First of all, is to impress on you that it is important to learn. Learning includes both learning and unlearning. Learning includes what? Both learning and... Yeah, so you have come here when there are certain things that you know. But those things may not be true. Hello? There are things that you know and they may not necessarily be true. For example, Some of you, from your experience, wherever you have been, where you have grown, you think kids cannot have money. Young people cannot have money because they don't have jobs. Can you say it my way? Young people cannot have money. Why? Because they cannot have jobs. They cannot have jobs. But for us, we have said that everybody has been given abilities, and from those abilities, you can attract money. Hello? Yeah. You can run and earn money at school, and then you can keep it. You can study well and get good grades, and the school will give you a bursary, and then you come home and say, Daddy, they have given me a bursary of 200,000 per term because of my skill at school. What is your idea about my ability? Daddy, can we save what you would have paid for me at the school for my future classes? You negotiate, because now you have relieved your dad of paying that money. You can start saving it, or the dad will say, now that I am saving, I was struggling here, maybe we save half of it. I can afford to save half of it. And parents, you need to acknowledge that your child is now participating. They are using their talent and skill, and they are bringing in some car money. Hello? Yeah. You might respect your husband very well, call him. Sarah called her husband Lord. This morning I don't see married women yet here. It looks like the married women realized I was going to preach about this, and they decided they are coming late. But I know there are many potential candidates for marriage. Sarah called her husband Lord. So you write in your notes, when I get married, I'll call my husband Lord. But she did not just call him Lord. Sarah was obedient. Do you know how Abraham became rich? Do you know how Abraham was also a shrewd guy? He was not always speaking the truth. So one day, they go to Egypt, and he tells his wife, when they ask you, you tell them you are my sister. Don't tell them, because if you tell them you are my wife, they are going to kill me. Can you imagine? Your husband, darling, the guy you call Lord, he's now saying, when we get there, you pretend to be my sister. And what does that mean? If you become my sister, they might actually take you for their wife. Can you imagine that this guy is selfish? He's saying, I want to live, but I'm putting your life at risk. And Sarah is like, well, you are my husband. Lord, whatever you said, I will do. And so, because of Sarah's obedience, God intervened and said, this is a problem. When those guys realized they had a problem because of Abraham's deceit and Sarah's obedience, they came and asked Abraham to pray for them, because they had a problem. The whole community should have had a problem. They said, this man is a priest of God. Let me see if I can get that scripture, and I have only 5 minutes. Genesis 20. Who is there? God intervened because of Sarah's obedience. Verse 5 following. Who is there? Someone had a microphone. Uh-huh.
Did he not say to me, she is my sister? Did he not say?
Is it on?
Chapter 20, verse 5.
to 7. Uh-huh.
Did he not say to me, she is my sister? And didn't she also say, he is my brother? He's my brother? I have done this with a clear conscience and clean hands. Verse 6. Then God said to him in the dream, yes, I know you did this with a clear conscience, and so I have kept you from sinning against me. That is why I did not let you touch her. Verse 7. Now return the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you that you will live.
14.
I got
Verse 14 now.
verse 14. Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah his wife to him.
Now, this man he's going to Egypt because he's running away from hunger, and he doesn't have much sheep and oxen. He doesn't even have slaves. Maybe he has a few. So, but out of Sarah's obedience, product, Abraham received oxen, sheep, servants, slaves. Why? Because his wife was obedient to him. So, quality control. What is the quality of your product? Jesus went to the temple and he was asking these guys questions, and I think those questions were having to do with how do you help God's people? What are you doing to make sure God's people hear God's word? He's trying to look at the product. So in this church, we have to learn to appreciate. First of all, we said there are 5 layers. We said there is a recipe. What do we produce? In this church, what do we produce? God-fearing disciples. Number 1, what do we need to make sure that we are producing the right disciples? Number 1 on the list, if you are going to control, number 1 on the list is recipe. Now, what is our recipe? Hello? What is our recipe for producing good, God-fearing disciples? Wanji? Okay, we have the Word of God. Where do we put it? MC. So they say, if you are going to mix this, you mix it in a bowl. Okwata ebijiiko bya sukali bibiri ne kilo ya kawunga ka muwogo n'obiyiwa mu bakuli. Kati ebakuli wano ewaffe yeruwa? MC. Okwata ki? Members have to bring themselves to an MC, and if they are going to be God-fearing, they are going to do what we call discovery, Bible study, and life on life. In where do they do it? MC. And in the MC, they are going to assume the first layer of responsibility, which is go and bring a soul. And what is the definition of a disciple? A learner who is teaching another learner. In this church, where do you do it? All of us in this church must teach. If you are a disciple, you must be teaching someone. And where do you teach someone? Someone says Sunday school. No. It is in the MC where you, each one of you. Because in the MC, your MC leader is going to tell you, bring someone. And that person you bring is going to be the person you are going to start teaching. Before you come to the level of teaching where I am teaching from, you start teaching in your MC by bringing someone that you are going to start teaching. Then after you have brought someone that you are teaching, what do you become? If they become 3, you become a huddle leader. You become a huddle leader. So, the recipe. Now, what is the recipe of producing the right disciple? We have said that recipe is missional community, discovery Bible, study, life on life, where you share life on life and you invite someone, because you cannot disciple in the air. So, now that you have a recipe, what are the supplies that you need? You need a hosting center. You need the text for Discovery Bible study. And you need people to come and be in that. But we also said in the MC we do what? We eat together. So you also have eats. You also have eats. Looks like, Jonathan, I used to think you were a giant, but looks like there's another giant who is over you. So we are trying to produce the product. And this topic here is big, but I want to use the example of the church, but you also have to use your own example as you for what you are producing. But in this church, if this church is going to do our Father's business, like Jesus says, I have to be about my Father's business. I have to be about my Father's business. So, here in this church, Father's business is level number 4. What do we bring on the market? A God-fearing disciple. And what does this person do in the market when you take them there? When you take Chapat to the market, what does it do? It kills hunger. When you take doom to the market, what does it do? It kills cockroaches, insects. When you take petroleum jelly to the market, what does it do? It kills dry skin. You understand? When you take human hair to the market, what does it do? It removes short hair and brings long hair. So all these products, when you bring them to the market, they do something. People from Jubilee Fellowship, when they take you to the market, what do? You improve. When they take you to the market, wherever they take you, the first thing that you do is I am. You say the I am. How do you conclude the I am? I am a change agent serving for transformation. So, what are you bringing? Change. Every product that is produced here, it is that when they take you to the place, wherever you go, the thing that you are going to bring to that place is change. I don't know. Me, wherever I go, the moment I arrive there, I need another time to go over this. Let me finish it. Nze buli wengenda, when I arrive, oba waliwo ebisaaniko ntandikirawo kulonda, ntandikirawo kuula omuddo oguteetaagisa, ntandikirawo kutereeza ebintu bye ndowooza nti byetaaga, because that is me. When I arrive, change has arrived. When I arrive, what has arrived? Change has arrived. I think Elder Mark can testify that about me. When I arrived this morning, what happened? The chairs, there was some disorder, and I'm like, these chairs have to, I must bring some change. You, if you're a product of this church, the change you must bring is not only in the good, it is the change that you must bring in making sure that you are a true disciple. And what is the mark of a true disciple? Or what is the definition of a true disciple? A disciple is a learner who is teaching another learner. So I want to end it at here today. Who are you teaching? If you're a product that is made here, some of you might say, yeah, I'm still in the process. Yeah, we are all in the process. But if you're a product made here, made in, I'm going to make some t-shirts. I think I'm going to make some t-shirts called Made in Jubilee Fellowship. Instead of made in China, made in Hong Kong, I'm going to put Made in Jubilee Fellowship. And then on the back, we put change agent serving for transformation. So that wherever we go, maybe we should put it in the front. Change agent serving for transformation. And when somebody looks at the back, made in Jubilee Fellowship. So that wherever you go, you know I am a change agent. I am here to bring change. If I am a product. Now, the chapati is also a change agent. When it comes to the market, the hunger ratios change. When somebody who is selling katogo, it is also a product. Now, other churches are also producing other members of Christ or disciples. And their disciples might be doing things which are different. For us, for you to be a true disciple, what do? You live according to your definition. And what is your definition? A learner who is teaching another learner. And what product what service do you bring to the market? Change. Are things changing wherever you go? Are you bringing change wherever you go? And if that's what you're doing, then you are contributing to our Father's business. If you're not bringing change, and if you're not teaching another learner, you are not in the Father's business. Tell that to the person next to you. If you are not bringing change, and you are not teaching another learner, you are not participating in our Father's business. So you talk to them now. Tell them how to participate. You advise them. Now that you have taken over from me, advise them. Tell them what to do.